Oh hi, it's Bukai, and welcome back to another video for Melvor Idol on our hardcore mode playthrough. So as you can see, we've now gotten our adamantine ore mined up, and I noticed something interesting when I was going through this and making my adamantine bars, is that my laptop was actually taking my... Because I just left the game running as I wasn't fully connected to the internet, basically it was just plugged in, and I would then let the computer go into sleep mode. What this was doing is when it hit sleep mode, it registered that the game was still running, but the game wasn't calculating anything or actually going. So it ended up only taking my AFK gains for a half hour each day during those videos, meaning I had like a week where all I had was 30 minutes for 12 hours worth of AFK because I went, I had a bit of work to do. I had a bit of like sleeping and whatnot. So yeah, I kind of got, I don't want to say screwed over, but I have a feeling that if I'm looking at my mining at level 74 and my wood cutting at level 69, I could have been so much further on this actual game than I currently am. But you know what? It is what it is. Mistakes have been made, so it just means that I actually have to physically close the game, reconnect to the internet in order to actually reopen it and whatnot, because that was the main reason why I didn't, was I do not have stable internet right now. It's just nature of the beast. I'm, a little bit in the middle of nowhere, and yeah, and sometimes when you get work and you gotta work in the middle of nowhere with no internet connection, you gotta make do. You gotta make do. So basically, I only got on the weekend to actually get to an actual like Wi-Fi spot and just upload everything en masse for the week. And that's basically what I've been doing for everyone. So that's why the content's been a bit sporadic and a bit harder to actually do and whatnot. But it is what it is. Now, I've been making a ton of these adamantine bars, and you kind of can notice on here that it is eating through my coal ore. So, I'm going to have to mine a crap ton of ore. Like, a crap ton. Like, I need a lot of coal ore, considering this was less than 1,000 of the adamantine, and it just ate through. Like, we're not even at 500, and we have already gone through half of my coal supply. I had like 5k when I started this. Now, with that said, if I go down to my combat and look at my character, I've swapped out all of my arrows from mithril to adamantine arrows. Now, the other thing that I will have to do, I believe I'm going to have to go down to mithril ore, and then I'm just going to click on coal, actually. Go back to smithing. Click on mithril bar, make one mithril. Yeah, make one mithril. I'm not going through all of that. We're going to go down to my bank, click on my mithril ore, and you can see how much was actually just mined. Just straight up from that one little spot. Like, one night I got 12k compared to every single night I was getting like 500, and I was wondering, oh man, it's slowed down a lot. My brain not really thinking, considering I've been doing, like, I was working a bit of 11-hour days, like waking up at 5, coming home at 6, and you're like, you just, sometimes your brain just no work. So we're going to sell all of this mithril ore for 800k. We're going to go run into the shop and see how much everything, okay, so I can't buy that just yet, 1000k. That's a lot, but because I got 800k saved up, we are going to actually buy more of these bank slots. I know it's not the most efficient use of the money, but buying up to 50 slots is pretty good if you ask me, So we've got up to level 62 smithing, and I'm hoping that after building all of these 328 bars, I'm going to be at enough, because I have a feeling that the unlocked at level 63 is the adamantine javelin. So here's hoping. That's kind of on par with where it ended up with the mithril, but it's not with the... Actually, no, it is with steel. Where was it then? Iron was a little bit further on, and Yeah, it was just iron was the one that was thrown off. That's odd. Oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. So we're at level 59 on this, and we're hoping to get a bunch of the actual chances to preserve. 10%, man, 10%. It adds up and adds up fast, especially if you get both of these to proc at the same time. I'm not sure if that it can. I haven't really paid attention to it. If you guys could let me know in the comments below whether it does, I would be greatly appreciative. I would greatly appreciate it. So come on, level 63, and once that is done, we're going to go down to fishing, but I will also show I've got the, oh actually, I'm going to do that right now. I've got the agility built up where now it's going to cost me 250,000 coins to build up the next obstacle. Now the catch is that these guys are not very good. The con minus 10% farming yield for this guy. I don't think that it's worth the 2% Herbalore skill or the Herbalore mastery experience. Actually, that might be. That one might be. What is this one? Sour herbs, Mantler herbs, garum herb. Yeah, no, that's not worth it. I need a ton of our Herbalore. I'm level 25. I'm nowhere near that. Nowhere near it. Now, per obstacle completion, okay, so this one's for the hybrid. I don't have any mage stuff yet. Air Rune 500, Earth Rune 500, Iron Bar 250, and 5,000 is something. Yeah. But minus 40 maximum hit points. I mean, it's not terrible, especially considering right now I'm not grinding on heavy monsters. And the rune preservations and the ammo preservations, a decent chunk. But looking at up here, 3% chance to preserve resources and skills, 20% GP from thieving, but minus 4% global skill. Like this, these are crappy. The only thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go straight down here and buy the gap jump. I know it's not the most efficient or the best piece to do, but later on I might upgrade and get that guy. But as it stands, I'm going to get 48 experience and 57 gold with no actual bonuses. I know, like I said, it's not the best, but not much I can do. Not much I can do, and it's just, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. And I will be back with these recordings once we have hit the level 63, and we will start pumping out the javelins. Well, we won't be able to pump out the javelins right away, considering we got to go down to the mahogany trees. As if I go down to my fletching skills, go to my javelins, and go to the adamant javelins, mahogany logs. So I've got quite a bit to go through. I got to nail to level 63, I got to pump out a bunch of javelins, and then I've got to go down to those. So I will be back once we are starting them. Alright, so I am back, and we have gotten like 500 something of the logs, so I think it's time to start pumping down the javelin heads. And we're going to see how far we can push this smithing up, and yeah, and we're going to be getting ready to pump down our adamant javelins. Then I think once that is done, we're going to go and grind to get some cows again, but I'm going to swap out to the mithril sword instead of the two-handed sword, simply considering I need to level up my attack to 30, and then I can switch over if I go to my smithing again, and this is going to stop the javelin head. Actually, I can't even equip it, but yeah, the attack is 30, and I'm hoping that I can get to the two-handed sword, which is actually fairly low on there. 1, 2, 3. 68. I don't think that's enough of the ore to reach 68. It is 120 skill XP, but you can see how little it's moving. Like, it's definitely not moving a lot on there. So, is what it is. I will be back once we are ready with the adamant javelin heads, and we'll see how much these guys sell for. I'm hoping they sell for a nice pretty penny, as, well, I mean, selling the ore alone's for a nice pretty penny. But I'm hoping that I can make a decent chunk, increase my fletching, and increase my good old-fashioned smithing at the same time. And then we will, like I said, grind up some attack levels on some cows. It'll be slow, considering the main thing that I'm trying to actually gather is enough for the crafting, as we want to reach the dragon hide. So, I'll be back. Alright, so javelins have started being made. This is actually the second batch of javelins that I've been making. I sold a bunch for, I can't remember the exact amount, it was like 200k or something like that. But you can see that they're selling for 223 each, and we are on level 30 of our mastery for the javelins. Yeah, javelins are a decent moneymaker, and most importantly, it keeps upgrading my good old-fashioned longbows. I need to gain, or fletchery. I need to get my fletchery up to level 70 in order to manufacture the, I believe, mahogany bow, which, I mean, I know it's a video game, but I'm not sure why you would want to make a bow out of mahogany. Like, it has no spring to it, or at least to my knowledge. I would have to, I mean, I say this, yet I'm a woodworker on there, yet I would have to do research on this, considering mahogany would probably have to be like a compound bow over just like a solid bow. Like, you get your hardwood in the front and then your actual softwood in the back. Like, there's a reason why bows have been made for what they are made out of, because they're springy, like, lack of a better word. If anybody who, manufactures bows and that would be able to clarify in the comments, I'm genuinely curious. But as far as I know, African mahogany, way too high of a Janko rating for it to be used as an actual bow. But, I could be wrong. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, and I would love to know in the comments below. I'm going to have some mahogany logs left over by the looks of it. Here we go, 91k. Boom, lots of money, lots of money. And that's 91k is going to go towards buying 1,000 feathers, because I am not farming up 1,000 feathers. Yeah. Okay, and then the other thing that I want to do is I'm going to buy 1,000 of these summoning stones. That seems to be the only spot to get them that I know of, because if I go down to my summoning here, I'm going to create some Ents. Now, these Ents give me plus 10% chance to gain plus 1 additional resource when woodcutting. And if I look here into my marks that I've gotten this. This line here, after finding the mark, you're required to create at least one summoning tablet for the respective familiar to find more marks. So I assume once I have my familiars, and if I go to my woodcutting, because it looks like it's done, and I click on this, okay, so I have to equip the familiars. All right, let me go to the bank and equip one. Now let me see. Plus 10% chance, and I am curious now because I am out of mahogany. So let's go down to the mahogany and see if that reduces this number. It does. Okay, so this is going to be pretty expensive, as it is only a 10% chance per swing, and yeah, that's a little costly considering I'm spending 20 of these logs and I am burning through those pretty fast. Huh. Now the question, does it level my summoning? Or do I have to discover more stuff? At least one summoning tablet. Yeah, I think you just gotta hammer through and build a ton of these things. Alright, well that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be quite costly to upgrade the summoning. Oh well, that's all I can say is, oh well. If I'm misunderstanding this, please describe it in the comments below, because considering I just discovered this summoning thing on there. Oh, okay, so it does upgrade my summoning. So my summoning level just went to level 2 just for having them equipped. Good to know. So you got to keep the summoning tablet up, and I assume if I go to marks, I guess you got to discover it and what's not, which it's fine. Oh, never mind. Mark discovered. Mark of the Ent. So there we go. Look at that. Summoning. Mark of the Ent, level 2, and what does that give me? Into summoning. I go to familiars. I think I'm out of them anyway, but let me click this. 23. So I guess it just levels up as it goes. Wow, this is going to take... I guess this is where the endgame stuff truly is. Alrighty then. So this is going to cover up a lot of resources. And I'm going to bankrupt myself doing this, I know. So that means that the most important decision to make is going to be getting up to 1 mil to unlock multi-tree. Because I need to be able to unlock the lower tier of the Ent, at least, and the higher tier, or at least the Javelin tier that I'm going to be burning through resources at. In other words, we're going to be chopping, and we're going to be chopping a lot. I believe chopping might actually outpace my mining on there. And yeah, it's going to be a nice, decent chunk, and we got to get that 1 mil. Yeah, it means that we're going to basically pump through all of these javelins and what's not with the mahogany logs. So I'm going to be sitting on mahogany for a long time. So with this, if you guys have enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to give it a like, a subscribe, pass it on to your friends. If you hated it, pass it on to your enemies out of pure spite. If you guys would like to help support the channel, there's a link to a coffee shop down below where you can buy me a coffee. It'd be much appreciated. And if you guys would like to join our Discord community, we would love to have you. There's a link for that down there as well. With that, take care, everyone.